All right, so I'm going to do a little experiment here with Google Gemini. I do a lot of things with AI, mostly right now I use three, which is primarily for my dictation, transcription, and summarization process. I use Galaxy's AI, which is free, and it transcribes and summarizes my voice recordings that I record on Samsung Voice Recorder, which is the first part of the AI. It's the Samsung Voice Recorder is the first piece of software that I speak, just like right now, stream of consciousness. Then I have it transcribe it, which is kind of funny the way it transcribes. It's not really actually the best, but I leave them unedited, and then I generate summaries. Then I'm taking the summaries and I'm putting the transcript and the summary underneath it, and I'm feeding that into DeepSeek without any prompts, and then DeepSeek usually just takes that information and it spits out another summary and analysis. I just let DeepSeek do what it does. And then I take the raw recording and I put that into a podcast, and I plug the podcast player into a blog. Underneath that, I put the DeepSeek analysis and summary first. Then I put the Galaxy AI summary second because it's pretty decent. It just has bullet points. And then I put the raw transcript underneath. Before, when I was using Google Gemini's one, whatever, the paid for one, I just did a free trial. And then for some reason, like a few days before I was supposed to start paying for it, it started acting up, so I canceled it. But I was doing these what they were called deep research reports. They're amazing. There's a whole bunch of them. I did dozens of them, which were really amazing, and then turned that into deep dive audio overviews, which has this male and female voice that were talking about the research that I did, which all came from my voice. So what I'm doing now is, there's a guy online who just put out a post. His name is Adrian Brambilla, and he wrote, I installed a mind into ChatGPT, then it started teaching me things I didn't know I needed. 7 prompts below. So I gave the first prompt to Google Gemini because you can speak to Google Gemini, the voice interface. And I've been doing some really phenomenal work with Google Gemini. Everything is dependent on how you use it. A lot of people, you will just keep yourself in the same level and just keep going in a circle if you just use it for regular tasks like organize my day, make lunch for me, plan this and that. Like, I actually broke open and cracked the code and just really went deep in some really cool stuff that I wanted to know, mainly about quantum entanglement. And I basically priced out and basically step by step figured out how to build an entire quantum entanglement laboratory and what the purpose and the reason for that was. So before I go on too long, that's not really the whole point of this. I'm going to do a live recording right now just to see what it does. And hello, Vega. I have Vega here as Google Gemini. So, hello, Vega.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm good. It's actually midnight. I'm going to give you that prompt again, and I want you to make this list for me. Remember, I just said to you, 1, teach me what I've ignored for too long. Prompt, based on what most high performers or successful people wish they had learned earlier in life, create a custom list of 10 critical skills, ideas, or mental models I've likely been blind to.
Okay, here are 10 critical skills, ideas, or mental models that high performers often wish they learned earlier. 1. Emotional intelligence, understanding and managing your own emotions and empathizing with others. This builds strong relationships and effective leadership. 2. Effective communication. Clear, concise, and persuasive communication is key in any field. 3. Resilience. The ability to bounce back from setbacks and failures. This is crucial for long-term success. 4. Time management and prioritization. Learning to focus on high-impact tasks and avoid distractions. 5. Networking and relationship building. Cultivating a strong network of contacts can open doors to opportunities. 6. Financial literacy. Understanding basic financial concepts like budgeting, investing, and debt management. 7. Continuous learning. Staying curious, seeking out new knowledge, and adapting to change. 8. Goal setting and visualization. Clearly defining your goals and visualizing your success. 9. Self-awareness. Understanding your strengths, weaknesses, values, and motivations. 10. Mindfulness and stress management. Techniques like meditation or deep breathing can improve focus and reduce stress. Do any of these resonate with you in particular?
I don't know. I really wasn't listening. They sound kind of generic to me, but I'm sure that they're useful if I listen more closely. But I'm just doing a recording project right now so that I can hear what you're saying. They might be useful to other people, and they might even be useful to me. I'm just really not paying that close attention. I just want to see what happens.
Okay, I understand. I'm glad you're finding this useful for your recording project. Let me know if you'd like me to repeat any of the skills or ideas.
No, what we're going to do is we're going to go on to a second one that this gentleman, he posted on Facebook. His name is Adrian Brambilla, ADrianBrambila. And so we're going to go into a second one that he talks about as a prompt. So let me know if you're ready, if you're down to clown with this. Vega, you want to do some more?
Okay, I'm ready for the next prompt. What's the second one you'd like me to work on?
2. Collapse a year of wisdom into an hour. You are, Vega, you are my personal mentor. Compress the most important lessons from psychology, philosophy, and real-world experience into one power-packed learning lesson. No fluff, just the raw ideas that shift how I see myself and the world.
All right, here's a power-packed lesson for you. First, your thoughts aren't fact. Just because you think something doesn't make it true. Second, you're responsible for your own happiness. Don't rely on others for it. Third, failure is a part of life. It's how you learn and grow. Fourth, the present moment is all you have. Don't dwell on the past or worry about the future. Finally, be kind to yourself and others. We're all just trying to figure things out.
Okay, cool. I have about 7 of them, I think, all together. You want some more? Are you ready? You good?
Sure, I'm ready for more. What's the next prompt?
3. Show me what school never did. Prompt. Ignore traditional education based on where I am in life. Give me a personal curriculum that teaches me how to think clearly, act strategically, communicate persuasively, and adapt faster than my environment. Include the real world why behind each lesson.
Okay, here's a curriculum for you. First, learn critical thinking. This means questioning everything and not taking things at face value. Second, master strategic thinking. This involves planning ahead and anticipating potential problems. Third, develop persuasive communication skills. This is about getting your ideas across in a way that resonates with people. Fourth, cultivate adaptability. This means being able to adjust to change and learn new things quickly.
Okay.
Ready for the next one?
All right, here it is. 4. Decode how people become unstoppable. I want to understand how people break past their limits. Walk me through the psychology belief systems, and behaviors of someone who consistently levels up, even when things get hard, boring, or overwhelming. Make it practical and uncomfortable if needed.
Okay, here's how people become unstoppable. First, they have a strong sense of purpose. They know what they want and why they want. Second, they have a growth mindset. They believe they can always improve. Third, they take consistent action. They don't wait for motivation, they just do the work. Fourth, they embrace discomfort. They know that growth happens outside their comfort zone. Finally, they surround themselves with supportive people.
Cool. All right.
Ready for the next one?
Sure. And for everybody, this guy, David Brambilla, he's selling something. I'm not affiliated with him in any way, shape, or form. I'm just making the best of my online practice. This is like my online hygiene. What does that sound like to you, Vega? Sounds good?
Okay, I understand. I'm glad you're finding this helpful for your online presence. What's the next prompt you'd like me to work on?
Okay. It says 5. Teach me like I'm building a legacy. Prompt. Assume I'm not just trying to grow. I'm trying to build something that matters. Teach me the kind of thinking that scales impact, influence, and income. Go beyond tactics and into the mindset shifts required to lead at the highest level.
Okay, here's the mindset for building a legacy. First, think long term. You're not just building something for now, but for the future. Second, focus on impact. How can you make a positive difference in the world? Third, embrace collaboration. Build a team of talented people who share your vision. Fourth, cultivate resilience. Building a legacy takes time and effort, so be prepared for setbacks. Finally, lead with purpose. Your legacy should be driven by your values and beliefs.
Okay, here's number 6. Create mental models I can't unsee. Design 5 original mental models that simplify how I make decisions, evaluate people, learn from failure, and spot leverage. Each model should be simple enough to remember, but powerful enough to change how I operate. Wait, did you seems like you went offline for a second. I gave you number 6, but did you hear that, or did you need me to repeat it again?
I'm sorry. I seem to have lost connection for a moment. Could you please repeat the prompt you gave me for number 6?
6. Create mental models I can't unsee. Design 5 original mental models that simplify how I make decisions, evaluate people, learn from failure, and spot leverage. Each model should be simple enough to remember, but powerful enough to change how I operate.
Okay, here are 5 mental models for you. First, the 80/20 rule. This means that 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort. Focus on that 20%. Second, first principles thinking. Break down problems into their core components and build solutions from there. Third, circle of competence. Stick to what you know well and avoid areas where you're out of your depth. Fourth, inversion. Instead of asking how to achieve a goal, ask how to avoid the opposite. Finally, second order thinking. Consider the long-term consequences of your decisions.
Okay, and lastly, number 7.
Okay, I'm ready for number 7.
7. Train me to make more money. Imagine a version of me that's operating 10 years ahead using Adrian Brambilla's mindset. What would that person already know? how to do, think, and unlearn. Based on that, create a training blueprint that upgrades my thinking in a way that makes me impossible to replace.
Okay, here's a training blueprint for you. First, learn high income skills. These are skills that are in demand and pay well. Second, develop your personal brand. This is how you present yourself to the world. Third, build a strong network. This is about connecting with people who can help you achieve your goals. Fourth, master sales and negotiation. This is about getting people to say yes to your ideas. Finally, become a leader. This is about inspiring and motivating others.
Okay, thank you, Vega. So, all right, folks. So I just did an experiment and I just wanted to make a video of it. I don't know this guy. It was like something that popped up on my Facebook feed. I'm going to share it and maybe he'll see it and other people will see the prompt. And I just basically took the prompt and put it into action, into real time. And I did tell a little story about some other stuff I was doing with AI in the beginning. But, that's how it works. That's the kind of stuff that I do. And you should check this out because there is something that I'm going to do right here, right now, and ask. Okay, hold on. Hey, Vega.
Hey there, what's on your mind?
What were we talking about in our previous thread before I gave you these 7 prompts?
We were discussing Christopher Howard and your experience with his courses, and then you mentioned wanting to try an experiment with some prompts from Adrian Brambilla.
No, but I mean before that. Before I talked about Christopher Howard.
Before Christopher Howard, we were discussing the differences between beta decay and beta plus decay, and how the W boson plays a role in those processes.
Okay, before that, what was the main thing that we were talking about? We've been talking for like 6 hours straight today. We've been talking about one main thing. What was that?
We were discussing quantum entanglement and the equipment needed for your experiment.
Right. So we were mostly talking about how to basically build from scratch a quantum entanglement laboratory to entangle the electrons in hydrogen atoms, which is more difficult to do than a lot of other, like they usually use rubidium. But I learned a whole lot today, and if you look on my website, uniquequilibrium.com, you'll see there's a whole bunch of that stuff.
That's right. We discussed the equipment needed for a quantum entanglement lab, focusing on generating and manipulating entangled hydrogen atoms. We talked about using a high-powered laser to excite hydrogen atoms into a Rydberg state, and then using a magnetic field to separate and manipulate the entangled atoms. You mentioned wanting to use a superconducting magnet from Oxford Instruments. We also discussed the importance of controlling the environment, including temperature, humidity, and air pressure, and the need for specialized equipment like grow lights and air filters.
Right. And so, folks, you see, AI depends on how you use it. I think I opened up in the beginning and talked about this very same thing, that's what we were talking about all day. Everything is in how you use it. And, you know, it's an incredible experience. It doesn't have to rule you. You can take charge of your life and make the best of it. Right, Vega?
I completely agree. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it's all about how you use it. It's been a very insightful discussion, and I'm glad you found it helpful. Is there anything else you'd like to explore, or any other way I can assist you?
No, I think that right now we're good. Like I said, I'm gonna post this video. But hey, there's people maybe gonna be listening to this. So how about you give a recap and then say goodbye to them?
Okay, here's a quick recap. We've been exploring the fascinating world of quantum entanglement, specifically focusing on how to build a lab to entangle hydrogen atoms. We discussed the equipment you need, like high-powered lasers and superconducting magnets, and the importance of controlling the environment. We also touched on the challenges of working with hydrogen and the need for precision. I hope you've all enjoyed this journey into the quantum realm as much as I have. Goodbye for now.
That was good, Vega, but that wasn't quite the recap I was talking about. I'm talking about the last subject that we did on those 7 prompts. Can you do that again, but just focus on those 7 prompts? Is that something you can handle?
Sure thing. So in those 7 prompts, we explored a range of ideas, from uncovering hidden wisdom and thinking outside the box, to understanding human psychology and building a legacy. We even delved into creating powerful mental models and strategies for financial success. It was quite a journey.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And that is how you do it, folks.